always so much talk about it's who you know, not what you know when you enter a new job or workplace. What's kind of your take on that when it comes to forming those relationships?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do believe that. And, I wasn't somebody who had family in the industry. So for me, all the connections that I made on my own, and just like, you know, I emailed somebody and I continued to. With Laura, my dad found out that she does these broadcast boot camps, and he was like, why don't you reach out to her? And I did. And, that worked out wonderful.
You're responsible for a wide array of tasks in your role, such as writing, interviewing, putting together highlight packages. What's the importance of being versatile in this industry? And do you think there's still a value in doing one thing really well?
Yes, it's very good to be well-rounded. And I think learning everything is important. However, when you go to graduate, and guys, here's the thing, you listen to everybody, but you have to make your own decision, because there's not one right answer for this industry, if that makes sense, like for how you either get in or how you maneuver in when you're in it. So for me, my thing was, I wanted to be, in front of the camera, but I realized how important it was to get my editing skills, audio, just camera work, stuff like that in. But my main goal was to be on air talent. So I wouldn't go for any jobs that was producer or, the multimedia facet of it. I just wanted the one lane. And then when I got there, though, I will say this, right now I have two different coaches, and one of them is more, we work on more writing and how I'm forming my questions, and just, sharpening the toolbox, I guess you can say, of all like the college, like the grammar, the accent that they're trying to nix. I'm like, it's just not going to happen. But, and then my other coach, Laura, Sydnee knows Laura Oakman. She basically is just like the best and at everything in this industry. And so like, I'm really just learning the ropes.
Atlanta isn't typically known as a soccer city, but we've kind of seen that shift the past few years. What has that change been like from your perspective?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Chicago. Bears, Cubs, I'm a Cubs fan. And even when you look at the Cubs, right, it's like loyal fan base. They lost for hundreds of years. I mean, when I was a little girl, I didn't even realize what I was saying, but I would say, oh, that's okay, Dad, we'll get them next time. That's okay, we'll get them next time. Like, it was a thing, and no, they just never won. But they still had a loyal fan base. And, when you compare the two, I was really nervous coming down to Atlanta, not saying that there isn't this loyal fan base, but, when the Falcons win, the fans are there, right? When they're losing, sometimes it's hard to see that same fan base. And so now you add soccer, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know how this is going to look. But, it's exceeded everyone's expectations, I think. Dede Westbrook plays football for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he went to Oklahoma in college. He was just something. The kid has like two phones, and he's like, one second. I'm like, not during the interview, but I'm like, dude, come on, let's go. We got to prep for this. And I'm like, which one? And he also had his orthodontist on speed dial. I'm like, but do you? And he's like, I'm obsessed with my teeth. And if someone comes close to my face, or like, my helmet pops off, like, I'd have to get them checked out. He's like, I wore braces for too long and got made fun of. These things are like my life. My number one, like his main number in the one phone was the orthodontist. I'm like, okay.
That's great.
So yeah.
Awesome.
Lastly, what advice do you have for anyone who's going through their early collegiate years or their post-grad and just looking for some work and wants to become a sports broadcaster?
I think you guys are sitting in such a good time. Not that there wasn't social media when I was in school, because I'm not that much older than you all, but I think that you really have a wide, like, it's limitless, the type of content that you can create. And I think that, just like what you guys are doing now, if the opportunity isn't coming to you, make it. Like, I don't think that there's a reason that anybody should have to walk away from this industry because they're not getting the job. do it. If you're not getting, work harder, like you'll get there. And I know that may sound brutal, but it's the truth. One time, I will tell you this, I called Laura and I was like complaining and very upset and crying. And, I'm sure we've all been there where I'm like, no one's like, I'm always coming in second best. It's like, I get close and then they don't pick me. And, I was so sad. And I was almost looking for Laura to comfort me and be like, oh, well, that's okay. We'll work on this. Instead, she goes, I wish I can feel sorry for you, but I don't, because you're not working hard enough. I go, okay. But she was right. She was right. And so, what I say to that is, I think that you need to breathe when those situations happen where you're just feeling like it's never going to happen, or you keep coming in second best, and have your moment, and then be like, all right, I'm going to work that much harder. Get a notebook and email people, and as you email it, write it down, like on 4/20, it's today 28th, 29th, 4/29 emailed Samantha, and then circle back to that page 2 weeks from now if you haven't heard from them, and say, did they reply? Maybe they didn't, I don't know. Maybe they gave you another email address. That's happened before. Other people are like, no, we're not hiring now, but you should reach out to these people. Keep the message short, and put your reel in there, put your resume in there, whatever website, whatever you need. And one day somebody will bite. It'll bite, and you go from there. So I think just keep the positivity, be good to people. The golden rule will take you far in this industry, and have fun with it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's such great advice. Thank you.